Peace, this is Nicole of Pure Essence Beauty, and I'm back again with a video. This time, this is a tag video. Thanks to Ahsiek118 for tagging me in this video, my first tag video. So, there will be a lot of because it's my first tag video. Here are the questions. Why did you decide to go natural, and when did you big chop? My first decision to go natural, well, the first time I went natural, it wasn't my decision, it was my mother's decision. She was natural, wore afro, and she wore her hair natural for many years. Her hair is still natural. And I went away. This is a true story. I actually did the big chop twice in my life. The first big chop, I was 12 years old. I spent the summer with my cousin who was a little older than me. She was in cosmetology school, and she decided to experiment in my hair. So maybe about a week prior, she put a wave nouveau, or what was called like a carefree curl, jerry curl. She put a wave nouveau in my hair, experimenting with my hair, and it was really hard. So she said she knew how to soften it up. So she put in a relaxer, a basic relaxer, which if there's any cosmetologists out there, hairstylists out there, you know you don't mix those two. You don't mix a jerry curl, wave nouveau type of chemical with breaking off in chunks. Again, I was 12 years old. It was summertime. When I told my mom my hair fell out, my mom immediately was like, you gotta come home. So when I got home, she was upset first that they put chemicals in my hair without even asking if they could put chemicals in my hair. And secondly, she was so upset because my hair was really thick and long and it was natural. So she had to cut it. So she basically called one of her friends, peace to Brother Antar. He was a barber for Teddy Pendergrass here in Philadelphia, and he did a lot of like celebrities that came through to the uptown that's here in Philly. He was a friend of my parents, and he cut all my hair off. Again, I was 12 years old, summertime. So by September, when September came back for school, you know I was traumatized because I was going back to school with a little haircut like this. I was going into I was either going into the 6th or I was going into the 7th grade, and I was starting a new school, so that was quite embarrassing. And the second big chop was when I was around 18 years old. I put a relaxer in my hair when I was a teenager because I was doing hair, working in hair salons, trying all kind of hairstyles in my hair with the color. I had the salt and pepper haircut. Went through all types of transformations with my hair as a teenager. And my hair broke off again. I bleached my hair. I put color in my hair. Then I put a relaxer in my hair, and my hair just started breaking off. So I just decided to go to the barbershop and cut all my hair off. And I cut my hair. So that was the second big chop. And after the second big chop, that's when I went into starting my locks. I started twisting my hair up, doing little 2-strand twists, had the little, I even used to do Bantu knots in my hair, and I got bored with that, so I just started my hair in locks. And I wore locks for 7 years, and my locks were really long. I cut my locks after I had my second daughter. So to answer the first question, why did you decide to go natural? The first time, it wasn't my decision. It was my mother's decision. The second time, it was my decision. It was because I bleached my hair and relaxed my hair, and all my hair came out. And I was just wanted something new, and I was around a lot of people who had locks and natural hair, and I decided to make the big chop. So on to the second question. Were you afraid of how people would react? When I was 12, I was definitely afraid of how people would react because, again, I was 12 years old, just starting a new school. I was young. The second time I did the big chop, I didn't care what people thought. Now, I got more negative comments from people who were close to me which wasn't really cool. But after a while, when it started growing, they liked it. I come to find that people get caught up with length, and when you cut your hair, they think either something's wrong with you or you're sick, and that wasn't the case for neither reasons why I made the big chop. So to answer the second question, were you afraid of how people would react? When I was 12, I really was, because I was dealing with self-esteem issues and I was so young. But when I did it when I was 18, I didn't care. I rocked my short haircut, my little twisties, started growing my lock. Third question, what was the hardest part about having a TWA, a twa? It really wasn't a hard transition having my little twisties in my hair, because I love my little twisties, and I rocked them out like Rasta style, so it was cool for me. So to answer the third question, what was the hardest part about having a twa? It wasn't hard at all. I actually liked my little twa. I felt comfortable with my little twa. Fourth question, how long did it take your hair to get to a comfy style length? When the first time, when I was 12, I guess I can say when it got to a point maybe about 2 inches long, and my mom was able to braid my hair up. But the second time, I actually liked it shorter. I liked my twa, and I liked when I was 18, when I first cut my hair. The comfy style for me actually was when it was shorter. When it started growing out, because my hair is really thick, when it started growing out, it was to a point where it was like, I gotta start locks, because it was just growing all over the place. So that's when I started my locks up. So to answer that question, my comfy style was actually my low short haircut, because I could just jump in the shower, shampoo my hair, put a little oil on, and be out. The fifth question, would you say that your decision to big chop helped transform you inside as well as out? Yes. For me, when I made my transition into natural, it was liberating for me. I was 18. I was basically on my own, so it was, the decision was mine, and my mom here was natural, so it wasn't a problem with that. But within that time, I gained knowledge of self. I started studying lessons. I started learning more about holistic health. I started reading and taking classes with Queen Afua. I was assisting my mentor Yvette Smalls in her natural hair and her braiding classes that she was facilitating at Temple, and I was learning more about knowledge of self, and I was gaining more self-esteem. I started connecting with more positive people. My environment, changed. A lot of my friends changed. A lot of people that I had in my life, like I said, changed. I started eating differently. Even though I was raised not eating beef and pork, I started eating more vegan foods and more herbs, and learning more about herbs and healthy ways to eat and grow. And so that was the positive transformation inside and out. And I also gained so much self-esteem that, especially when my hair was short, and guys would be like, sis, what you do? Why you cut your hair? And say stuff like that. It would make me look at them like, there's nothing wrong with me. What's wrong with you? Because I feel great. So it was a positive transformation for me, and I felt awesome. The sixth question, what advice would you give to someone thinking about doing their big chop? As a cosmetologist, and I'm going to answer this as a professional, answers are very toxic to you internally and externally. So if you have any, and especially for my sisters out here who have fibroids or cancer and just other things going on, or even if you're just taking medication, you really should not mix those chemicals. The chemicals that's in relaxers are very toxic. They cause this. There has been many studies on how relaxers can make fibroids grow and develop, and African American women is seen more, and that's possibly because we are the ones that's putting the relaxers in our hair. What advice I would give you, transitioners, just chop it off. Just cut your hair. Don't worry about what other people think, how other people feel about your hair. It's about you. It's about how you feel inside. It's about growing, maturing. I don't care how old you are. You could be 50 years old and do your first big chop. It's going to be a maturity that comes along, because you're going to get negative and you're going to get positive. And don't be surprised if the negative come from the ones who you love or the ones who most close to you. So make the big chop. Get rid of those toxins. Get rid of those relaxers. You don't know how long these relaxers have been sitting on these aisles in these hair stores. You don't know. There's never an expiration date on there, so you don't know if the relaxer is expired. And again, I will list in the info bar about the toxins and relaxers and how it's contributed to so many different illnesses that, you know, in these labs, they know what's going on. These doctors and nurses know what's going on and know what these toxins and relaxers are doing. The advice I would give anyone out there who's interested in cutting the relaxer off, making a transition, just do it. Just do it. You'll feel so much better. Whatever people say, that's their opinion. Let them do what they want to do with their hair. It's your hair. It's you. So cut it. Make the big chop. Do it. And just try all kind of funky hairstyles. You can do all kind of things. So you can just texture your hair any kind of way. 2-strand twist, plait it up, braid it up, freestyle it, rock a low cut. Just do it. A teenager came to me and she was like, I'm so tired of the relaxers. She showed me she had little burns in her scalp from relaxers, and she just asked me, she said, Miss Nikki, could you cut my hair? Could you do it? And I said, sure. So I'll put a link to the video of Big Chop. If a teenager could do it, she's going on her prom this year, and she did her big chop. So I'm so proud of you, Emmy. Peace to Emmy for doing a big chop and being courageous to be a teenager and be so courageous to make a big chop. I think that's just amazing. So again, peace to Emmy. And thanks Ahsiek118 for the tag. I love the tag. I'm getting used to the tag. So if anyone want to send me a tag, if you would like to learn more about Nicole Pure Essence Beauty and my opinion on natural hair, makeup, if you want to see me out and about, actually I'm going to the flying carpet tonight and I'm going to check that out, and I might do a video there if it's not too much noise and I can record a little something with my iPhone. I'll record a little something at the flying carpet. I'm really excited to go there, so I'll make a video on that. So again, thanks for watching Nicole Pure Essence Beauty video on my tag questions from Ahsiek118. Peace, girl. Thank you. And the questions were about what would I say to someone who's interested in big chop. So I hope I answered your questions. Again, please thumbs up, subscribe, share. Peace.